Alright, welcome back to Gamer Know How. Today we're going to be talking about the new game hitting the Xbox and PC showcase. Chernobylite 2 is going to be Exclusion Zone is going to be released to Xbox and PC in 2025. So this is an open world, a post-apocalyptic shooter, base builder. Consider it something like Fallout. It's kind of like a Fallout but with zombies. And Fallout did have zombies with the ghouls, but they weren't really like zombies are more fun. I'm just going to say that. So Chernobyl is an open world shooter, base building, crafting, team-based management, non-linear storytelling, post-apocalyptic action RPG game. I know that's a mouthful, but I just had to include everything about this game. So it's an open world multiplayer shooter that you can play with other people. It's based in the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. If you don't know where the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone is, just look up Chernobyl and read the first thing that comes to mind. It'll probably be an image of either a nuclear explosion or a city that doesn't have any people in it. So Chernobyl was a historical event back in the Cold War era. It was a city that was powered and experimenting with nuclear energy. It had a nuclear power plant, and one of the nuclear reactors had a full meltdown that basically exploded. It launched millions of particulates of radiation, basically released a mass amount of radiation throughout the city, into the air. I mean, it was a massive event. People thought it was going to be the end of the world, but it ended up not being. The radiation ended up just settling on the ground, which was pretty good, because that means that it didn't spread as much as it wanted to. But there was an evacuation. Most people died, but people who were able to escape ended up dying a few years later because of radiation sickness or illnesses from radiation. Radiation's not good. Chernobyl itself right now is kind of low radiation level. It still does have some radiation in it, but most of it is located near the actual power plant, which still sits today. It sits underneath a white tarp. Apparently they're still doing experiments on what went wrong to this day and trying to figure out if it's still going to be functional, which is kind of weird considering that if the reactor blew up, I don't really know if you want to still get power from it, because I mean it's already said that it can't. It's already proven that it's unreliable at best. So I don't know really what their goal is trying to figure this out, but I am very interested to see what tests they may be running there. But, of course, thanks to the war in Ukraine, we really can't figure out what they're doing now because Chernobyl is in Ukraine. If you didn't know, it's not in Russia, it's in Ukraine. And, can't really do any tests right now because of, the war that's going on. So, otherwise, back to the game. It's going to be released to PC and console in 2025. The team has been really good. They have their own Discord, own Reddit. They have a little VC / it's not like a stream. It's kind of like a stream, but it's more like a live feedback VC where you can come in, you're muted, and then you can have a request to talk and ask a question or give some feedback on their first game, Chernobylite 1, which already has been released to Steam, so you can still play it. But of course, they want to know any of your feedback that you want, and they'll use it to inform its upcoming sequel coming to Xbox and PC in 2025. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing what people want them to do, and that is gather feedback. And their map it's a pretty sick game. I played the first one. If I want to describe it, I'd describe it perfectly as it's 7 Days to Die. If you ever played 7 Days to Die, it's basically a zombie game where every 7th night, it's a blood moon, and on that 7th night, there are so much more zombie spawns, they do so much more damage, they have more health, and more speed. So you have to build up. It's a base building multiplayer open world game. So you basically build up a base with all your friends and you try to survive. You loot, come back to the base, make the base stronger, and prepare for the blood moon, which will either kill all of you or you'll survive and you'll have to go to the next blood moon, which gets exponentially harder each blood moon. So you have to build up your base. This is the exact same way. So it's an RPG, post-apocalyptic RPG. You loot Chernobyl, you build up a base, and then you defend that base against zombies and other players trying to take down your base for loot. Because mostly it's just like Fallout 76, where you may think it's kind of like a survival-based game where all the humans would band together, but that's usually not how this works. And that's why a lot of people don't like open worlds. Because open worlds are supposed to be like everyone in the world is working together against an exponential onslaught of some type of enemy or environmental situation. But it usually just devolves into a bunch of trolls coming in, blowing up bases, and just looting everybody and leaving everyone to die. And they just ruin the experience for everyone. And then it becomes like a base building conflict game with zombies and other creatures. And it's kind of like the PvE is now just a PvP with some E attached to it. It's like the environmental is kind of like a third party at this point. And that's not what the game is supposed to be. And I think they did a pretty good job discouraging people from trolling in the first game. And I hope that they continue that with the second game. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodaloo, have a blessed day.